We are presenting 3 patients showing characteristic symptoms of stuporous catatonia. These patients have been hospitalized from 5 to 15 years, and their stupor is not as complete as it was during the acute stages of their illness. The behavior and attitude of these patients, however, has not changed for several years. The leading symptom is immobility and lack of activity. Most of the time, they seem to be oblivious of their environment. Their faces are fixed, and changes of expression, if they occur, are usually due to fantasies or voices which they hear in hallucinations. Other typical symptoms of this condition are negativism, mutism, waxy flexibility, automatic obedience. We will show you these patients first for some time without stimulating them directly, other than by the camera and lights. How are you today? How are you? How are you today?
G'day, g'day. How is everyone? Did you all catch up on Ethan's stream with Yellow Flash and Ricotta? Did you catch up with Liam's stream with Micah and myself? Did you catch up on sleep? Hello, Question Comics. When did Oz get so close to 1,000 subs? Oh, so close. So close. Although Liam told me I'm going to have to wait like ages to get like monetized and stuff. So I don't know though. I seem to remember he got it pretty quick. I guess I'll watch test. Be my guest. Be my guest. No, don't be my guest. Don't go anywhere. Sorry, I was too slow for you. Not my monkey, not my circus. I went live, but I forgot to press the button. So I was playing the intro, and then I had to restart live again. You know, so professional. You woke up early, professional, not my monkeys. Well, how excited are you for the show? Do you want to come in? If anyone wants to come in, the link is in the description as usual. Tonight we're supposed to have Ray Romano and Jam Creates, and I think they both forgot. Hang on, I just got a message. What did I get? Oh, another person's unavailable. That's all right. We don't mind. Whatever. Book a time to come in and chat about your project and play some music for us and then don't turn up. I don't mind. You know, life happens. Just a few more subs and Oz can stop eating out of his neighbor's garbage can. Do they still have garbage cans? I haven't seen a garbage can in probably 20 years. Did the sketch outs explode his rata? His rata. How are you, Matthew? What are you doing in lovely Australia? Cody Drake, welcome to the show, handsome young man. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. The bloomin' onion is the greatest Australian achievement. What's the bloomin' onion? Hello, Mumbles. How are you today? Dancing? Bring on Micah. It would make this intro appear more interesting. Hi, Albert Stoddard. Tell me, Albert, and Mumbles, while you're at it, what does it mean when you don't have an avatar? This is like every ride I ever had on public transport. Albert, come on now. Oh, Squisher 420's in the house. And so is Olga 777. So's Torfer. Torfer, how you doing? What got taken down? What stream got taken down? It was deleted. What? Ricada's stream got taken down. What for? Ricada bought some bots. Not my monkey says I'm shy. Come on anyway. I won't ask you anything personal. Jabba the coach says, I always hate you playing guests anyway. You know, Jabba, you should come on and have a chat to me. I won't ask anything personal. Squisher420 says, why is Liam pissed? Ethan invited NASA back on his show when NASA mocked his dead dog, but he still associates with the war campaign who did the same or worse to Anna. I don't know. To ask Liam. But I guess you would understand if Anna didn't want war campaign on her show. I guess that's what a more direct comparison would be. Can but won't. Space Monkey. Way harsh, dude. Ryan Blue Bowen. Who's Ryan Blue Bowen? You guys are saying stuff that I don't understand. Appetizer at Outback Steak. Oh, the blooming onion. Okay. Do they have the Outback Steakhouse in anywhere else but Australia? Albert Stoddard says, do I need an avatar? Yeah, everyone needs an avatar. It's like Ready Player One in here. You got to have an avatar so we know what you want to pretend to look like. Lord D. Drum. Want 42 virgins in the afterlife? Only when sub to Oz art. Yeah, Olga 777 wants to know what happened with the Ricada. Does someone want to come on and tell me? Ahoy, Baron Jack Stafford, if that is your real name. I see you. Do you look like your avatar there? Andino, hello. Caligula Palaccio. Jabba will never reveal his voice on stream because it sounds like a 12-year-old Scottish girl. No, I reckon he sounds like a really poncy British guy. Like Hugh Grant kind of thing. I say, Oz, this stream's not very good. Yeah, good point, Samba Gogo. Why should he ask Liam when Liam Oz is a singular entity? Yeah, I mean, really. No, Albert, don't be so disagreeable. Aussie arm wrestling. No, I don't follow Aussie arm wrestling. I didn't even know that was a thing you could follow. Yeah, brother Gaius. In Australia, it's called that shite steakhouse. We don't say shite in Australia, but it's pretty close. Spirit Scar, how are you? Why don't you come on? Just tuned in. Any guests lined up? Homoerotic meatheads flirting with each other was enough for the week. Yeah, look, I won't have any homoerotic meathead fights tonight. It was pretty entertaining, but there's only so much we can handle for one night. Yeah, I did. I had 3 guests lined up, but they all cancelled. And it's not like they're cancelled because, you know, they've like upset at me or, whatever. It's like I've actually got 4 guests. One is Geek Chorus was supposed to come in today, but he's got coronavirus from all his security work. Robert Romano has just forgotten, I think. And yeah, I don't know. I think Jammer Creates is on some weird drugs because he keeps booking in to come on, and they're not coming on, and then like the next night saying, oh, I was really looking forward to coming on. So I don't know what's going on. Baron Jack, that's you? Why don't you come on, Baron Jack? Comic Fandom for Life has changed his name back. I thought we had this discussion, Trainwreck. Reed Troutman says, do they have Outback Steakhouse in Australia? Isn't that like a Taco Bell in Mexico? I guess so, but yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, I wouldn't eat there, but, there's also a lot of tourists in Australia. You have to remember that as well. Hey, Lars. Yep, just look at mine. I think he's talking about his avatar. So, like, moot point, please prescribe. He's got a doped out alien smoking a joint. That's pretty cool. That would be the best accent for Java. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's his accent. That's why he's like, I'm not going on anywhere. As soon as people work out that I'm this, as soon as people work out that I'm like this 1% posh British guy that's just like living on acreage in the middle of Britain, getting a stipend from a lord. It was funny. Yeah, I know you liked it, Olga. I know you liked it. You thought it was funny. It was funny, I have to admit. But, I enjoyed it. I enjoy all my streams. I think they're all funny. Guess we're muscled out. Tofu. It's a great pun. Should I make it homoerotic meathead Fridays? I kind of think that it might drive my prescriber counts down. Mumble says, not worried about guests. This show always goes off the rails after about an hour. It seems to be that way, but we might not get to an hour. I might fall asleep. Uh-oh. Jeb is having an orgasm. Last Crusader wants to come on and insult you for 3 hours, Jebba. Why don't you come on and tell us about your dog? I won't ask any personal questions. Nah, I'd actually, to be perfectly honest, I know people say, you do stuff for ratings and whatever, but I would actually much rather have talked to someone that has Basil in his avatar than Preston, that's for sure. No one else probably wants to hear from you, but I will. Tree Goblin, who's usually very horrible to me on Twitter and in YouTube, he says, "G'day, mate." You think his British accent sounds like Keanu Reeves? You mean like Keanu Reeves in Dracula? I say, you're a vampire. What? What's a Catahoula leopard dog? It sounds like a fighting dog. This show goes off the rails always. Hang on, what's this? Brother Gaius, are you screen grabbing my appearances on shows? What's wrong with you? You've got me pointing at the crotch of Susan Storm there. Yeah, I was talking with Odie on stream about proportions, mathematical proportions for the superheroes, because he does in manga they do it like a six whores. In manga they're like 6 whores tall, and in European and American comics they're about 8.5 whores tall. Oh, it's just a baby. Sniped. I recognize that drawing glove anyway. I think my hands are prettier than Ethan's, though. Not sure what Ponce is, but I feel like we're saying Jabba. Yeah, you spelled Jabba wrong, but Jabba is a Ponce, I reckon. Like, oh, it'd be so great if he could come on and use his Ponce voice and talk to us. That'd be. Imagine that. Imagine if he came on and was just like a real Ponce guy. Oh, okay. Robert's coming. So, all good. All good. As long as we got someone on here for me to bounce out. Come on, Oz. Come on, Oz. Come on, Oz. Let's go, Oz. It's all right. I'll just chat to the chat till we wait for Robert. I wonder what song he's going to sing for us tonight. Do you think he's learnt George? Oz is flying the show with us. It does take a certain skill to come online halfway through watching Deadpool and like, oh shit, it's 11 o'clock. Better set up my StreamYards and stream. If Oz got Jabba, it would be hilarious. It would be hilarious, yeah. It's not like it's a special get or anything. It's not like, oh wow, Oz got Jabba. It's like, Oz got Jabba. It's like, who? A 20-minute instrumental. Why not? You got time to kill Question Comics. El Hombre. What's up, chat? Nothing's up. Why don't you come on El Hombre? You wouldn't watch this show if I was professional Question Comics. You'd be like,
Morning, Oz. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, all good, man. How have you been?
Busy, really busy.
Why have you been so busy?
Well, between work and everything, the things are heating up in kind of the Washington, D.C. area with the whole political season. So that's like our busy time, especially during presidential years. So putting in 10-hour days, that sort of thing at the office.
What do you do again, Robert?
I'm a political and financial analyst, and
Analyst.
well, basically it's just a lot of copywriting and editing, and laying out publications for email delivery, as well as press statements that need to be put into proper formatting and then delivered to key media and opinion leaders, as well as government officials. So it's a pretty standard operation for a small shop like ours, but we try to get the word out.
Sounds fascinating.
Well, yeah, you get to watch the news all day, read news stuff all day, and basically write about it. Can you hear my daughter back there?
Is she singing?
She is.
That just adds to it. Ambiance.
Maybe she'll quiet down if I play a song.
Maybe. What if you got to
Well, I hate to disappoint you. I didn't really get a chance to look at the thing you sent me, although I have it. I really just need time, and it's such a short commodity nowadays, and I hope I hope I can still please your audience with what I have come up with. Basically, just what I have memorized.
yeah, whatever. Like whatever you want to do, I don't mind.
All right, I got an original here. You want to see me play the piano, don't you?
Oh, it's up to you.
Well, it's better than looking at my bald head. Let's see here. There we go. There we go. All right.
Hey, hey.
Hey, good job, Robert. Sounded good.
No, you can hear us just yet.
Oh,
How have you been, Lazarus?
doing okay, man. Good evening to you, brother.
Good morning to you.
It is. It's a beautiful morning here.
What's your real name, Lazarus?
Uh, what's your real name, Oz?
Oh, is it like that, is it?
Huh?
Okay. Robert, is that your real name? You're muted.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You got lots of applause.
I did. Not.
Yep.
I'm shocked.
Sounded good, man.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one of the. Last time I was on, I played an overture to lots of songs that I had written, and that was one of the pieces that the overture alludes to. It was called "In the Closets of Cathedrals."
Right on. I could slam some metal behind that with guitar.
Oh, I've anticipated that. Yeah, no, that would be killer with some really cool drums, maybe kind of like a Matt Sorum style.
Seems like I got an echo. You guys hear it?
No?
Huh.
You're probably
Have
hearing my
you,
daughter.
Have you
No,
still
no,
got...
it's. I talk it through my headphones. I hear it echo.
Oh, okay. You can go out and come back in if you want, but we can't hear it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that
Yeah,
usually
it's not
works
too
if you go out and go
distracting.
back in.
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Yeah. You don't want to have voices in your head, Lazarus. I step away. Why did you step away for a minute, Organ? That's your problem.
Can't miss a minute.
Yeah.
How you been, Oz? You doing well?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. The show's going great guns. We're nearly at 1,000 subscribers.
Well,
And
congratulations. I saw you had
yeah,
Doug Tenaple on and a pretty big stream. It was like 8 hours long. I think I caught a few minutes of it. But I guess you're driving some traffic with getting some big guests.
yeah, I don't know whether it's that or whether it's just like Liam's channel has been dead for so long that people are finally migrating over to mine.
Well, maybe you
So,
were the real star, Oz.
well, maybe. You never know. But yeah, so hopefully tomorrow or the next day I should be at 1,000 subs, and they say you need 4,000 watch hours in a year to get monetized. I'm like at 117,000 or something, so it should happen pretty abruptly, which would be
Well,
cool.
well, no, yeah. For you, I think getting the subs is harder than getting the watch time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. it's, it's ridiculous.
No, it's
Why
not.
won't
It's not.
yeah? Why won't Liam come on your show? Because he hates me. Because the show says without Liam. Because he's banned. No, because it's too late for him.
He's got work to do.
Yeah. Vasan Kasi. You should really come on, Vasan. I haven't heard from you. Liam had a nice stream earlier. Let's all migrate back to Liam and leave Oz behind. It was only a nice stream because I was on it. Poor Liam was going to have a heart attack.
Why
Oz has
is he doing
Sorry?
well? How's production of Xenotype coming? Have you heard any updates?
Yeah. So, I mean, the book, they finished another book. They finished another manga, Himenoti. I think it was a 48-pager, so that one's done. But they can't release it yet, obviously, until they fulfill. And I think they've got a fair chunk drawn of the second issue of Xenotype as well. So, yeah, they're going great guns. They're just waiting on Scotsman to do the final colors because the thing is, when Liam was going to release Xenotype, and the reason he said, "Oh, it'll probably only be a couple of months after it funded," is because it was all going to be in black and white. So, and he had all the artwork done. So, but then he decided to do a colored tier because a lot of people wanted a color book. So Scotsman's got to catch up on like over 200 pages of art to color before they can send it to print.
Yeah, the art in that book looks badass.
It truly is. Odie and Scotsman, I think, are doing great work, and I like how the different variety. You can kind of see Odie with his really dark style on the black and whites, and then you can see how that transitions to the color. If you get the platinum version, which I believe is still in demand, I recommend that. That's the one I picked up. I was like, oh, this looks really great. And my kid just loves anime on TV, and he's just getting into comic books, so I figured this would be a good starter manga for him. Hopefully, it's age appropriate.
I think it is. It's the only like blood and guts that I've seen is monster, the typical stuff you see on TV shows like monsters being killed and stuff like that.
No, he's watched much of Doctor Who, so I think he's accustomed to seeing monsters explode and melt and die.
Fat Flash says black and white and colored. Here we go with all this racism. Fat Flash is he's either Australian or British. Is he spelt colored correctly? Welcome to the channel, Fat Flash.
I don't think everything's about race.
Oh, no, I didn't say anything about race. It's just El Hombre and Fat Flash are obsessed with race. Reed Troutman says it's never too late to repair a friendship. Actually, speaking of which, friendship that is. Now Liam is coming back to stream sort of regularly soon. I'm gonna change the name of my show. So I need the help of my chat and my guests to come up with a name.
Well, you could play off Oz, like Land.
Yeah, the Road to Oz, or
yeah. So something
to that effect.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it really has to do with mussels and clams. But you could have mussels and clams skipping down the Yellow Shell Road.
Live to spite Liam. Liam. They call him Liam over on Sketch's channel.
Well, he's well ahead of schedule. I think he's probably going to fulfill before his the deadline, which I think is the end of the year. So what?
It's like January or something.
What are they saying he's lying about?
Drinking.
They're just saying. They're just saying that they just know how to get under his skin. They know which words to say to get under his skin.
Well, the trick, I think, is to not signal which words were getting under your skin.
That is the trick, but it's not always so easy for people to do.
Just gotta have a thick skin. Let shit roll off you.
Yeah, but you also have to be able to care about stuff as well, Like there has to be stuff that you care about.
Yeah, of course.
So we've got the Oz show.
That's not bad.
Inside the Clam, I don't think that's the best one, Jabba.
Or Under the Shell.
Osmosis.
That's pretty good.
The Wizard of Oz.
Sorry, Space Monkey.
I don't know if Liam really fits with the concept of this show. Does this show have a concept?
Oz? I thought this was.
Yeah, I don't have a concept.
This is about nothing. It's Seinfeld for YouTube.
Live bearded clam. You don't know if I've got a beard. Gay talk with Oz. Who are you again? I've never asked my guests that. Not yet. It's because they've got their names up next to them. Lord Nemesis is a bit annoyed because there's no annoying guest to yell at. Lazarus, entertain us. What have you been reading?
Everything as usual.
You've been reading everything. Well, what was the last thing you read?
Well, I was down the rabbit hole of that Wayfair, and now they're claiming that Amazon, Walmart all have these back channels.
What kind of back channels?
Where there's charging exorbitant amounts of money for products like a soap container for like $7,000.
A soap container.
Yeah,
For thousands of dollars.
for thousands of dollars. Yeah, a little plastic soap container.
That sounds like some bullshit.
Yeah.
And was it called like Amber or something? Or like Sarah?
I just discovered this morning. I didn't go really deep into it, but
Maybe they're
seems to
price
be-
gouging from the pandemic, and those dispensers are really in demand. I don't know.
yeah, plastic soap container for $8,000, whatever.
I know that there's a run on certain types of cleaning goods and things like that, disinfectants, and I think the Justice Department's looking into people who are price gouging on places like eBay. Watch out.
Watch out, everyone. Watch out for Corona. You'll end up like Geek Chorus.
Yeah, don't hoard disinfectant.
No, I'm talking
wonder-
a container where you put soap into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not soap. It's just a plastic little container with a cover.
I'm just guessing. Like, couldn't you just fabricate one? I bet you wouldn't.
Exactly. I mean, there's something to
What is
this,
a ring?
more
Put
to
something
these
in the wall.
prices.
Just find a ring that fits your favorite brand.
I could call it the search for Yahoo Serious with Oz. I mean, it's probably going to end up being called the Oz Show or something. I don't know.
Keep it simple, man. That's
See,
all.
I couldn't even say mornings with Oz because it's not really morning everywhere. Or I don't know. It's really hard. Otherwise, I would have done it.
You could always do one of those polls on YouTube and come up with a few good titles.
Yeah, but then I'd need to have titles for people to vote on.
Well, you got a lot of followers on YouTube, no? I mean,
I don't have
on
that
Twitter.
many followers on Twitter. No, I think I've
No.
only got like 2 people that follow me. Yeah, let me have a look.
Ask your wife.
I'm not very active on Twitter. Like I might post once a day, sort of thing.
Never
And I
been there.
I don't really post anything political, so I don't really get a huge amount of engagement. Like people. Oh, I've got 193 followers. How did that happen? But yeah, it's not like Ethan and that have got like tens of thousands of followers. Alombre says, stick with the current title. Yeah, I know, but it feels a little bit funny, and it feels a little bit of a confused message if Liam is streaming and I'm streaming as well. I don't want it to be like live without Liam because he's not allowed on my show or he won't come on or something like that, Comic Oztus Pro Secrets. That's not bad. Daily pause with Oz. Do you think there's too many pauses in my show, Lazarus?
How was that for a pause?
That was good.
I don't think there's too many pauses. You just gotta when you go quiet, that's a cue to the guests to chime in. Otherwise, we're not doing our jobs.
Yeah. Mumble says Oz and Friends. That's pretty good. The Oz Art Variety Show. Mm-hmm. Tolfa says I will follow back. Yeah, Tolfa, I don't follow anyone. And the reason for that is because that way I can evade the block chains. So I can actually see what disgusto scumbags are saying. 'Cause sometimes they have the more interesting backstories as to why they're being scumbags.
So you want to stay off the radar, basically, and not get on theirs.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I can go into, if I ever wanted to, I can go in and read Renfamous's tweets and go and call her a bitch or whatever, which I might do every 3 months or something. And, or I can read Tom King's tweets or what have you, see what nonsense they're talking about. Amit Rayner says, if you use my name, do I get royalties? Well, I'm not going to call this show Amit Rayner. Probing with Oz. I don't think that I'd be getting many guests on a Probing with Oz show. Where are you going? What are you doing, darling? I'm getting probed by Oz. Probed by Oz. That's not a bad title, actually. Why hasn't Oz had the guy who's doing a Wizard of Oz book in Comicsgate? Or does Eric Weathers also hate Oz? I should ask Eric to come on. We operate in different circles. It's funny to think of like different circles within Comicsgate.
Well, it's all 1 degree of separation. It's not hard to get a hold of the people.
No, it's not hard to get hold of them. But it's just interesting that there's different groups of Comicsgate creators who book into each other's shows. And so, they fill up their schedule.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, he's lettering everyone's book. Friends, since when? Yeah, well, that's the only problem with calling the show Oz with Friends, because it's more like Oz with random strangers.
Yeah, I won't inject myself into Comicsgate like some people.
What do
I
you
just
mean?
like the art content and the distraction of it, and
The art's killer.
Yeah.
Most of these books are fulfilling too. I mean, I've got a stack. I bought well over like 130 of them, and I'm not barely through it. But everything's really I find quality, and people are really pouring their hearts into these projects. The artists, the writers, and
yeah, a lot of
Comicsgate.
great content. A lot of great content. Huh?
Absolutely. I just had Johnny Phantasm show up, Super Harem. Oh, let's see. So many more. I should just go reach over there into the pile and see see what's there. I'm almost losing track of of everything that's going out right now. I'm worried the market's getting a little flooded, but there's so many great creators. I understand why they want to. Now's the time to try to get something out there.
Yeah, all
Cygnus,
these projects overlapping.
Yeah, Cygnus5 says, Eric is even mellower than you. It will be some conversation. Actually, Eric's got a bit of a temper, I think. Don't want to spread rumors about him, but I think I haven't met him. And
He
I
might be
haven't met him,
Irish or
but
something.
I think he's got a bit of angry blood in him. I can see it raging under the surface there. It would be good to have him on and ask him about it. Ethan Van Skyver talk with your host Oz. Yeah, it seems to be, doesn't it? Although I managed to get away with like 3 or 4 hours last night before his name was mentioned. Not my monkeys. Yeah.
You could make your title just a weekly different troll on a different Comicsgate personality. But I don't know if that would get old or if you really just want to settle into something that will help you brand and grow.
Yeah, I don't want to have to be doing any extra work. I don't want to have to be changing stuff. Plus, people search for like your show's title. You know what I mean? Your channel title. Knock My Monkey says, Eris is a nice guy. I don't think he would mind slumming it. Well, Eris, if you're out there, off the rails with Oz. Oz spies on you. Oz flew.
The EVS butthurt hour.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. That is pretty accurate. Come on and yell at Ethan show. Oz in safe space. Hmm. They really ruined the safe space word. Safe pace, Scrotum says. Oz SJW. Mm. Life with Risey. Oh, I found out last night, Robert, that Risey lives down the road from me, like not far away.
Are you guys
15 minutes.
friendly?
Roll,
No.
Raggy.
No, I wouldn't hang out with that guy. He never leaves his house and he's weird.
I have a
And
special guest for you, Oz.
he's a drunk.
Very
Oh,
special
okay.
guest.
All right, bring her on.
Hey,
Oh, hello.
Hello.
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
What brings you on this pleasant morning?
Just walking around, realized Rob is sitting down. I was like, let me take a seat.
So tell us your name and tell us where you're from.
My name is Diana or Dina, and I am from Moldova, Israel, and now here, the US of A.
When did you come to the US?
Goodness, 1997.
Oh, okay,
I
cool.
think.
And when did you meet Robert?
When did we meet?
In college,
In college, yeah, it was like 2003.
2003, 2004.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Kind of blurs.
Do you ever go back to Israel or Moldova?
Oh no, absolutely not.
Why not?
Moldova, there's nothing there. It's just like a shit show. Uh, I apologize to anybody else from actual Moldova who is listening, but that place, since the fall of the Soviet Union, had turned into a really disruptive, corrupt environment. And I'm not shocked because people didn't really don't know how to function in a lot of those republics after the Soviet Union collapsed. So sucks for them. And
Yeah.
Israel, I was in Israel when you live there, you get automatically drafted. So at age 16 or 17, you have to sign up for the military, and then after school, you kind of go and serve your time, like a prison sentence, I guess. Uh, and I apologize to anybody from Israel who's listening. That's just my personal
Making friends all
opinion.
over the globe.
I have very little amount of friends because I'm very kind of blunt, and I blame that on my Russian background. But Israel, when you leave the country and then you don't come back to serve, then you have a chance of, if you ever go back, you can end up in jail or serving some kind of fine. So I was like, well, the hell with that then.
What happened was her family won the visa lottery and got to go to the United States, and it was before her time to serve. And so then there was the kind of question or dilemma or potential controversy, like how do they treat people who have emigrated away from Israel and deal with the dual citizenship.
Well, there's no dilemma. They expected people to go back and serve, and a lot of people do, and I respect that a lot. I think it's an honorable thing. A lot of people from America that are, a Jewish or have, background from Israel go back, and I respect and honor those people. I'm just not one of them, and I don't want to do it. I never did.
I respect that.
Yeah, I never
How
had
how
any.
long is it for? Is it 1 or 2 years?
I think women only serve like 2 years, and because of my medical conditions, I have cerebral palsy. I don't think they would have put me in like war zone, but it was just a choice of I don't want to go back and do any time. I just don't want to go back, and it was kind of that kind of choice. And my family was also not a big fan of me going back to Israel. I mean, my parents go back every year, but that's because we have family there, and I love that family and I support them. I just can't visit them, and they can come here and visit us anytime they want, and they know it. So
For those in the audience that don't know, um, and correct me if I'm wrong, cerebral palsy is generally caused by a traumatic birth
yeah,
experience. Yeah.
yes, it's like a birth defect, so it's kind
Well,
of
it's not a
genetic
birth
a little bit.
defect. It's like a if you had a traumatic
Yeah,
birthing experience, you can have damage to your nervous system.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you tried Rick Simpson oil?
Rick Simpson oil. No, she doesn't need Rick Simpson oil. That's a marijuana.
Yeah, yeah, but it helps with a lot of healing, healing neurological disorder or spasms, or if you needed something like that.
I think we're
Yeah,
covered.
No,
No.
I don't think
I'm a
so.
medical social worker. You know, we get tested and all that. So
Oh, right on.
I work for the government. So
A bummer.
It's also an atrophy. It's a atrophy disease as well. So
Man, I
even
got a
if
hell of an echo.
I've
I got
known
to get
many
out of here.
people who use
Take care, Lazarus.
pot.
Yeah, I
as,
can't follow you guys because it's just all over the place.
okay, we'll catch you in the chat then, Lazarus.
Yeah,
I'll pull
talk to
up
you again
anything you
soon.
want to chat.
All right.
Yeah, I think even if you suddenly were able to, restore your nervous system, you still have the atrophy of
Yeah,
the muscles that you haven't been able to use properly.
and you could just kind of I lived this my whole life, so I make it work.
Yeah.
So
I,
you know.
I barely knows.
Yeah, I mean, I got
It
lucky. I have some patients who have a really shitty version of this, and they don't believe that I have it. And I'm like, you don't need to believe that. But so I did. I thank my lucky stars for getting me where I am. And
did
Parents are lucky
your
to have you.
yeah, I got very good support
what
system.
was the like the circumstance surrounding your birth? Like what exactly happened? You don't know? Your mum
No
never told
clue.
you?
No, never
She
really
never
talked
mentioned it at
about
all.
it. Um,
Or did she
I
feel
just
guilty about it or something? Like what?
no.
No?
I don't.
They
I don't
just
think she would blame herself. I obviously I definitely don't blame her. I think that shit happens, and I was born in the Soviet Union. I'm lucky that I got the treatment that I got. um, do I blame? No, I don't. I don't think we should blame people for diseases or conditions or
no,
circumstances
people
being
blame
there.
themselves though, that's what I'm saying.
I I hope she doesn't. I never
Yeah.
really spoken to her about it, but I hope she doesn't.
Are they still alive, your parents?
Yeah, they're alive and well. So it's my grandfather, my grandmother who took care of me my whole life. She passed away a couple of years back, but they're good. They live in a different state. They live in New York. Um, they love New York, so they're never moving out of there. But I don't know. They're pretty good. They're pretty chill.
So
They
did were your parents like reasonably wealthy in Moldova or in Israel? No?
I don't think we were always middle class and hardworking. My dad is a carpenter. My dad had in the Soviet Union he had a master's degree, but a lot of people when we immigrate
Civil
to
engineering,
civil engineer whatever. I don't even know what that is.
build,
But
building roads.
yeah, but my mom had a master's degree in botany, and when you move to a different country, you don't know the language, and it's hard, and you have to work and get your life started. You kind of end up working harder and not really getting into the field that you studied, and they kind of dedicated the whole time and effort to getting me situated and to get me through college and high school and grad school and whatnot. And I think that you know they did a good job. I think.
Question Comics asks, did Robert singing win you over?
Uh, Absolutely not. um, I'm actually Rob will tell you I am not like an artsy person. Like I try to be supportive, but I'm like,
You like comics.
yeah, me and
You like
him.
sci-fi. You like to watch all the shows.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. No, I'm not like not cultured, but
You like the opera.
I'm a big fan of at home people doing chores, and Rob likes to do music and art instead of chores. So me and him have a lot of headbutting over, what's more important, art or keeping the house. But I guess according to Rob, when you marry someone with art talent, and I have Godzilla in the background. Uh, but when you marry someone with art talent, their art comes first.
Well, I think there's time for both, sweetheart.
Pretty much, yeah. Somebody said I called Rob lazy. Yes, I did. I called you lazy. in a better way though, in a nicer way. But yeah.
What language do you use to speak?
I speak both, well, all three, but I
What are all three?
well, oh, sorry. So Russian primarily with my family in Hebrew, and then English here because Rob doesn't speak any other language and doesn't want to learn uh, any other language, I think. But I try to speak Russian with my daughter. It's hard for her to kind of catch on. I kind of want her to speak another language, but
You could just speak Russian to her and not any English.
yeah, I try to focus on Russian and English. Hebrew is a little harder.
They're saying we have bins. No, those are
Bins.
couches.
Bins.
No, they're not saying that. They're saying that your wife asked you to take out the bins and you say, no,
Oh,
I've got to
yeah,
play
garbage
chopsticks.
cans. Yes, I did. Like a week ago.
Oh, I get the
It's
joke now.
still standing.
So do you swear at your husband in Russian?
No, I curse him out in English because I want him to know what I'm saying. I want him to know what I mean.
Yeah.
I find that if I want to insult somebody, it's better if they understand it. That's the blunt part of me. I'm very like direct. Like.
And do you yell at him often? How many times a week would you yell at Robert?
At least 4 times a day.
4 times a day.
5 days a day.
You're exaggerating.
6 times. I don't know. I just
She
yell.
exaggerates.
I yell at everyone. I yell at the cats. I yell at my kids. I yell at my computer. I yell at the TV. I kind of like very expressive. I express myself very clearly and loudly.
Brother Gaius wants you to teach us some Russian swear words.
Oh God, no.
Why not? Just nothing that'll get the channel struck when they translate it.
Russian swear. I don't know.
One of you in the chat, write out a sentence that you'd like her to read out in her lovely Russian voice. Robert, the chat wants to know why you don't shave your head bald.
Well, I mean, it's mostly bald already.
Yeah, I asked him the same thing. I think it would be better if he did.
Yeah,
I agree. I think it would be better.
I think that it
I
might.
actually thought about shaving my head too, just to be like supportive of the baldness in our family.
Yeah, I mean, would you like that, Robert? Would you like to have a wife with a shaved head?
No, I like.
And then I can tattoo
I like my
it.
wife's hair. Don't tell her to shave her head.
I think I had people tell me that I mean a lot of people for some reason believe that if you shave your hair, then when it grows back better. So they're like, you should shave your hair. And
They
get
want
it
you to
growing.
say "Hi, comic skate" in Russian.
Привет, comic skate.
That's not much of a sentence, guys.
I
Yeah,
don't know. In Russian, Paluski.
they can do better.
Samba says hit one in the chat if Rob should shave his head.
Yes, yes. Where do I put? Where do I?
Type one in the chat, Robert. Go on.
Oh no,
I don't
no!
even know what a
I'm gonna go
keyboard
with
is.
not my monkeys. They're saying says that
Not my
it
monkey.
looks fine the way it is. I agree with that one.
But
It
Honey
reminds me
Thunder
of Jean-Luc
says
Picard.
go for it, shave it all, but get
My wife
a
says that my
Brazilian
hair
too.
though looks like Jean-Luc Picard, so maybe I should keep it that way.
Jabba's putting two in the chat because he knows that you look better with the shaved head.
I think that I would not take advice
agree.
from Jabba
Why?
because because of what Oz just said is actually the opposite.
That's right. So he's telling you not. He's telling you to leave your hair the way it is.
Basically, yeah, just very good reverse psychology there.
Do whatever makes you comfortable.
Thanks for that.
I am grateful for you guys having me around, but I gotta get this house in order because no one else will. So
Thanks, sweetheart. We love
Thank
you.
you.
which
Thank you very
means
much for coming
bye
on.
in Russian.
Bye bye. What a lovely lady, Robert.
No, she was excited to come on when she got to speak with you after the show last time.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, "Oh man, maybe you should come back and you can tell everyone a little bit about the family's history there." And the truth is, her getting to America, frankly, is exceedingly improbable. And meeting me is most improbable, just because I'm a geek, so that makes it more difficult to meet women. But in general, there were so many factors of history that got her family there. And two that really spring to mind were in 1987, when Reagan convinced Gorbachev to allow Jews to emigrate away from the Soviet Union, and then people started leaving in droves, and that's when they up and left to go to Israel. But until then, Jews after World War II, all the way till about 1987, were basically prisoners of the Soviet Union. They were not allowed to leave. And a lot of people weren't allowed to leave. So really, like, the idea they built the wall to keep people from behind the walls was pretty accurate. And so that was one thing. When Stalin died in '53, and then her families got to leave the gulags. The just World War II in general. Her grandmother on the other side was actually imprisoned in a German camp as well. And so there's a lot of history there. And then by the time they got to Israel, many years later, hitting the U.S. visa lottery basically, and getting to come to America and have an opportunity here. All very highly unlikely things to happen, I think. But in hindsight, you say, oh well, they got here. But there's a lot of history there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a very similar story with my wife, and her family came over from Sicily, and they came over in a refugee intake after the war.
After First War or Second War?
Second War. So, yeah, you never know where people's backstories come from.
It's true. No, and I guess it kind of brought the world a little closer together in a horrific kind of way, because people move around and then the country gets bigger. I know a lot of folks came to the U.S. after both of the wars. Although I think they shut, but except in the 20s, I think they shut off immigration in the 20s. But in the lead up, in the pre-war era, and then in the post-war, there was another big wave that was going on. But much of it from the turn of the century, and then it just kind of generationally moves on through.
Berserk Guts wants to know whether you own any guns.
No, never have. We've never. My dad had a rifle. When
You're in DC, aren't you?
No,
Where are you?
we're outside the Beltway. Thank goodness.
Oh, okay.
But we suppose we've discussed that. But we're not soldiers, so it's not like, or we're not police officers, and so we're not really trained. So that's something just that's never been a priority.
Yeah. Yeah, Samba Gogo says Sicilian wife, if Oz doesn't do the dishes, then he sleeps with the fishes. Damn straight. Family's no joke sometimes, man.
It's true. My wife's laughing. She says, if you don't laugh, you cry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Sicilians are great people, but yes, they are very stern.
Well, that's where my family comes from.
Yeah, you were mentioning a long time ago, though, yeah?
Yeah, turn of the century. And yeah, so I think my father's side, they were here pre World War One, and then my grandmother on my mother's side, she came over on the USS Europa in I think 1917, and she traveled by herself. So she was like an 8-year-old girl, and she was going to meet family in the States when she got here. And they changed. She was one of those that they changed her name at Ellis Island, and I think she was originally Flavia, and then when she got there, she's like, I want to be Flora. You're changing my name anyway, so I want to change my name. I don't like my name. And they said, no, we have to anglicize it, and they made it Florence. So then she became Florence.
That's good, because Florence is a much nicer name than Flora.
Well, she wanted to be Flora because she didn't speak English. So what would you say in English if you didn't know English for an English name, or you don't know any English names? So they gave her the English version, I guess, of Flora.
Well, they gave her an Italian version.
That's kind of true. Well, that's the anglicized. In Italy, Florence is Firenze. They don't call it Florence.
Firenze.
Just like they don't call Rome. That's Roma. Milan is
Roma.
not Milan. It's Milano. So certain
Milano.
countries get all their names changed on the map, and certain countries do not get all their names changed on the map. It's kind of interesting. If you go
It
around and
is.
say, it's like Germany's
But,
not Germany.
yeah.
It's
No,
Deutschland. So
it's
maybe-
Japan. Japan is Nippon.
I don't know how to pronounce Japan in Japanese.
Nippon.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
yep, the anglicized map. It's interesting. It's like, if you were on the other side of the galaxy, what would you call all the stars? And they would have different names for them.
Yeah, unless you colonize the stars first, then you get to name them.
That's right. They'll have American flags on them. Maybe we'll get a few Aussie flags on them, too.
Yeah, Australians are conquering the world. We're starting with Hollywood.
Do you guys have a good space program?
Our space program is a little bit complicated. We used to, because Britain tested a couple of nuclear weapons in Australia, and then we did have a decent rocket program, but we dismantled it all, and instead we focused on espionage. And we've got this property in the middle of Australia that is called Pine Gap, and it's like this series of hexagonal structures, and it's run by the US government, and it controls all their spy satellites in the southern hemisphere.
Okay, so that's a part of the Five Eyes system.
Yeah. We're like the southern hemisphere, the only point that the rest of the four-axis powers can see the southern hemisphere, so they all just take the data from us. It's like when
We're not the
when they
Axis powers.
well,
You would
you
be
know.
a part. I think Australia would be a part of CETO, this Southeast Asian Treaty Organization. That's like the NATO for the Pacific. And then they call it the Five Eyes. But no, the Axis, that was the bad guys in World War II.
I know. I mean, you know, we all like to think of ourselves as the good guys.
I think yeah, that's true. Everyone who's fighting for their country and their friends are dying right beside them, I think they think they're the good guys too.
Space Mouse. Oh dear. Um, yeah. So when they had the moon landing, the actual landing, the footage from the landing on the moon was actually beamed to Australia, and then we beamed it on to the US because it was actually in a position where the US couldn't get it.
Ah, so they were bouncing the signal off of Australia.
Yeah, and that's what conspiracy theorists don't ever take into consideration when they talk about the fake moon landing, is that we were in Australia were actually the ones that were beaming the images to everyone. It wasn't coming from the US.
It would have to be quite a conspiracy. Well, the hallmarks of the conspiracy theory, of course, are no matter how much evidence is presented showing that something is basically a conspiracy theory and fake, the adherents to the theory will just take that and say, see, that proves it, Oz. That proves it.
Yeah, that proves it all right. They didn't have the technology to go to the moon, but they had technology to send up a beaming satellite into orbit over Australia to then beam it onto the US.
It's a lot of trouble. Yeah, why didn't they just beam it nowhere? Just do it from the
Yeah.
do it from the States, put it on TV. In any event, that was I think that's one of the most highly rated television like shows ever on Neil Armstrong's walking on the moon. It's one of those moments like where literally the entire world is watching. It's a rare thing. Happens every so often, though, I guess.
Yeah, it's just funny because we had to have we had like 3 guys in like a little country town, and they were the ones that were in charge of the radar dish. And it's like the biggest event in history was, sole responsibility of these 3 country bumpkins.
Well,
It's hilarious.
They could team up with Buzz Aldrin if they're still alive, and then they could punch out people who say that the moon landing was faked. There's actually a video of Buzz Aldrin knocking a dude out for saying that it was fake.
Yeah, it's a great video.
I love that video.
Yeah.
I think he got to be featured prominently at a recent State of the Union address, and because we had just passed 50 years for the landing on the moon, and now they're saying with the new space program getting up and running with the new I guess shuttles or craft or whatever they're using now, that we'll be going back there pretty soon in about 4 years, maybe by 2024. Pretty exciting.
Maybe. I want to see how this helicopter does on Mars first.
Helicopter? We have a helicopter?
Yeah, they're sending a helicopter to Mars in they were supposed in 3 weeks' time, I think.
Really? That's interesting. So I guess they want to test to see if it kicks up too much dust.
Well, they just want to see whether they could fly it there.
Mm-hmm.
And because it takes like 50 minutes for a command or something, so they've got to make it autonomous. So they're going to set it up to see if it can fly around.
Well, you'd think they'd be able to put it on some sort of AI, assuming that you know what the terrain is, where the craft is, and then it could just run on that sort of program. So you could pre-program where it's supposed to go. If it's got to take 50 minutes to do a command, you're not going to be able to fly it in person. So they'll have to pre-program the auto flight pattern and course.
Yeah, greater minds than us are onto the problem.
Well, you could almost get like the guys who do the AIs for video games to write up a program. I don't know if it's similar.
There's one that they've already written up, and they're testing at the moment. They're flying around an asteroid, and they're mapping the asteroid and sending all the data back, and they're going to send up a probe to land on it just entirely remotely using that data to fly onto the asteroid.
It's fascinating. I love the whole idea of space travel. I always ask my son if he wants to be an astronaut one day, go up there. He doesn't seem too excited. He's like, I don't know about that, Dad. It sounds dangerous. And I'm sure it is.
Life is dangerous.
It's true. Some occupations are more dangerous than others, I would think. Being a pilot would probably be higher on the risk pool, although flying's more safe than driving cars, so I guess there's that.
Well, they say that, I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's just a lot less to crash into up there.
Yeah, but think of how many hours you spend on a plane versus how many hours you spend in a car.
True. Yeah. You'd be,
You know what I
in a
mean?
plane for like 3 hours, depending on where you're going. You could be in there for 45 minutes if you're just going a couple cities over.
Yeah, but how often do you fly to work?
Oh man, I wish I could fly to work. I could skip all that Beltway DC traffic. That would be awesome. My wife thinks we need transporters from
Honey
start.
Thunder says, "Life is dangerous, Australia." Yeah, it's our motto.
Literally, don't go
Yeah.
outside. Bring a gun.
No guns in Australia.
Oh no!
Only-
How do you defend yourself from the indigenous wildlife?
You got to fight it.
You got to use a knife.
You just got to punch it. You got to get into a fight with like kangaroos and stuff. You can't try and shoot out animals. They'll kick your ass. It's
Oh, I
like
see. Oh,
the
all
army
right. Well,
learned that
even if they
lesson when they
attack you
tried.
first, like there's not a self-defense clause.
No. The animals will just kick your ass. It's like the army tried that in like I think it was in the early 19th century. They went out and they tried to kill all these emus, and the emus defeated them.
What's an emu? I'm not familiar with that breed.
Emu. So the M goes into the U when you say it. So emu. Mew. Like you say it MEW. Emu.
That's how you spell it? MEW?
No, it's spelled EMU, but Americans say emu, but it's actually emu.
Oh, I'm seeing it. Oh, it's like a big ostrich.
Yeah. It's not as tough as the cassowary, which we also have, but they go around in big numbers, so they're kind of like
Are they,
like
my wife wants to know if
dinosaurs.
they do they like have them for Australian Thanksgiving?
No, we they lay these amazing eggs like that are about I don't know, nearly a foot long, and they're green. They're this weird green color. They're amazing birds, and you can use their feather. We use their feathers for hats and things.
I can
And
maybe,
And the oil is really good for your skin, emu oil.
maybe I can share my screen here. I just pulled up a picture. Okay.
Jebba the coach says the famous emu wars. Yeah.
Can you see it now?
Yeah. Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, I think I pushed the right button. I've never done this before, but those are the emus. I think they kind of look like the
I don't think you're sharing it.
they kind of look like the bad guys in
You're not sharing it, dude.
I'm not.
No.
I hit the button.
Click share screen and then click Chrome tab and then click on the tab.
Okay, I think we got it now. Chrome tab. I'm getting a tutorial here. You choose your tab. There we go. There you go. Those are the emu.
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 There you go.
My daughter would like saying that. She's still learning to talk. They kind of look like the bad guys from the Dark Crystal.
Yeah. And when the noise they make is the same noise as, you know, when you've got like a empty pack of Pringles or something, you make that noise on the top of a hollow tube. So it's like boop, 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 boop. That's the noise that they make. And then, so if you're out in the bush, you hear this boop, 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 boop.
My
and
wife
they come
wants to
up
know
and
if they're pets.
No, they come up and you can't domesticate them.
Oh, that's
But
too
you
bad.
can hand, like, they're tame, as in you can hand feed them and you can like put your cat on them or whatever. Like,
So you can
they're
like
really
go to a
super.
petting zoo.
No, just in the bush. Like, you can just go in the bush and they'll come and they'll eat whatever like you've got on you. If you've got your phone, they'll try and eat your phone and things like that. They'll just grab whatever. But yeah, they're pretty tough.
Now my wife's asking if you can domesticate a kangaroo.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You can domesticate a kangaroo. Generally, you have wallabies, so they're like miniature kangaroos, and what will happen is the mother wallaby will get hit by a car or something, and they'll rescue the joey from the pouch and raise it in. We put them in. Do you ever have cloth library bags in school?
What kind of library bags? Like
Made of cloth, like just fabric
yeah.
library. Yeah,
Sure.
so we stick them in fabric library bags and hang them off a doorknob, and it's like their pouch. So they go in, they just live in this cloth bag hanging off a door, and then they just come out when they want some milk,
That's
and you just
amazing.
feed it. You feed them with a bottle.
Can they transport one to America? Can we adopt it out?
Now she wants to know if we can put one on a ship and have it sent here so that we can take care of one. Apparently.
Yeah, I mean the US is pretty lax with their laws. You can do anything, but it's just another animal for your wife to clean up after.
That's true.
She's already got to clean up after you and your daughter and your son.
Yeah, no, maybe we got 2 cats too, so we've got our hands.
I don't mind taking care of animals. That's fun.
She wants a wallaby now.
Tree Goblin says I've got very chubby hands. Yeah, they're workers' hands. They used to be really nice and fine, and I could play the guitar, but not anymore.
What songs do you know, Oz, on the guitar?
I'm pretty boring. Just I used to learn classical guitar,
Oh, that's
but
my son's learning now too. He's playing he wants to play the DuckTales theme, so he's been learning the original Disney's DuckTales theme.
what the DuckTales? Woohoo!
That's the one.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
No, he's getting really good. I'm really proud of him. One day, I think very soon he'll be able to play. We could play together one day, in a couple years probably. Once he can keep play all the way through and get on the same page, we'll start a band.
Yeah, you can bring him on and jam. You can do like a intro song for me or something.
Maybe you know what we might do is maybe we can record something because he's not. I don't know if he's ready to really do live playing yet. But if he could get one good version of something all the way through, we could record it using the equipment we have here, and then he could do Harry Potter. All right.
Honey Thunder says we don't have stupid things like libraries here, Oz.
Where's Honey Thunder?
I assume he's in America.
We have tons of libraries.
Yeah.
Tons
of libraries and library
Every
bags.
city has libraries.
The other animal that you can raise is a wombat, but you can only raise, and they're like a dog, and they're really cute, but you can only keep them for 18 months, and then
you have to let them go.
You got to let them go because they just go feral. So, and like really super aggressive, like they'll attack you, and even if you de-sex them or whatever, you can't stop it.
I think local animal control would have issues with me taking non-indigenous wildlife and then releasing it into the wild here.
But
Yeah.
so fluffy.
No, look at these wombats.
Look how fluffy they are. Oh, look at that. It's like a little koala without the ears.
Oh, man. All right, well, let's see. Now everyone's like, ooh, what's the wombat look like? Let's see here. Sure.
They're adorable.
Sorry, Brother
Adopted.
Gaius. It's pronounced library. Sorry, was I pronouncing it library? Was I pronouncing the spelling?
Can they
What does a wombat sound like? They scream.
Show them the picture, Oz. I just put it up.
Oh, sorry.
Look how cute they are.
Yeah, but then they go feral and start attacking you.
Now, so you can keep them because they're naturally like that. So you can't like tame
Yeah,
them
there's a
after
switch.
that.
It's just like a switch is flicked at about 18 months old, and they just go berserk. And there's nothing really you can do about it. They get massive as well. They get to about 40 kilograms, which is about, I don't know, 90 pounds or something. They get really big.
They are really cute.
I heard
Olga said,
koalas are very aggressive.
no, koala, well, yeah, they are to each other when they're breeding, but normally they're too lazy. So, because they sleep 22 hours a day, they're only active 2 hours a day.
That's pretty
Yeah.
lazy.
It's pretty lazy. They're much lazier than a sloth.
That's like you.
Now, are orange koalas even lazier, or are they more productive?
Orange koalas are much more productive, but they're much more aggressive as well.
Do you know what about the orange koalas, baby?
They're like the red bear.
She needs to see the video, Oz. We need the video.
I think I might have seen a picture of it. But
I'm not going to expose your wife to the video.
Oh, come
I
on.
just
No,
looked
no,
it
she
up.
really needs to see how save the orange koalas. I think that the audience would care for that too.
Are they
I'm not
getting
going to
hurt in
expose
that
them
video?
to it, but I'll show you what they look like on the Indiegogo.
Okay. My wife's unfamiliar with the orange koalas. What this
Why
is
is
all
that,
about.
Robert?
Well, there's so much in, Comicsgate to explain, and that's not what is Comicsgate? It's probably like maybe 75th on the list of things that might include it, but not a central premise, and so it's harder to relate. Oh, by the way, and Oz and Liam are trying to save orange koalas that are fictional.
Oh, they're fictional. Okay. I thought it was like a real thing, guys.
Now she likes animals, so that's.
I'm like, I'll save whatever.
You know what? We can actually see one right on the screen there.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's Liam's head imposed on a koala turned orange.
Oh, yeah, totally save that.
No, they've got we
It's
could get
sad.
we could get buttons. Do you want to order one,
Looks
baby?
sad. Yes, let's get
We can
buttons.
get. Do they have T-shirts, Oz? What's in the campaign?
All right, so we've got these little enamel pins. I think they're probably they're the best thing.
What
And-
what would you say that's your top seller?
Yeah. Because there's like they're like $6 American or whatever it is, so $6.50 or something. So it's pretty cheap, and the shipping's only like $4. And then we've got stickers. So you get a pack of stickers, or you can get a magnet to put on your fridge.
Ooh, the magnet. I think we'll get the magnet.
Cool. And then the triple pack is actually the most popular. It's where you get like one of each and 10 stickers.
Now, this is going to the Save the Orange Koala Foundation, or how do the proceeds do? Or are they just going to cost on the product?
You're asking me whether this is a registered charity. No, it's not.
No, I'm
There's-
just wondering what you're.
It's all going.
It's just going into the cost. Or are you guys using it to raise money for the channel, or?
Yeah, it's for me and Liam's channel.
Okay.
It's so because Liam is building like a studio, and
Oh, that's
like-
interesting.
yeah, and so it's also just a cool little thing to have, like, to wear around, especially if people go to like the Comic-Con, fan con, if that ever happens as well.
Yeah, and I guess the planners are looking at 2021, maybe Orlando.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the US, man. It's like some big experiment going on there.
Yeah, no, live conventions I think are going to be a tough sell, probably in Florida especially, given what's going on there right now. They're seeing a little bit of a spike up in cases. Yeah, I think Australia's good, babe. I think that most of their cases are gone. They shut down travel immediately, plus they're an island, and far fewer travelers head that way. compared to the States, I would think. And so they're
Are you accepting immigration?
No, we've shut down our country entirely. We've got a hard border. I think we're accepting 400 people a week or something are allowed to come into Australia, and they're generally workers and things.
Oh,
So
okay.
you need
We
a-
haven't had a
Can
case.
you smuggle us in?
Well, we haven't had a case in my state in about 3.5 weeks.
That's amazing news. We're very much looking forward to those days, but
Well, I don't know if it's going to ever happen. Like, it's just such a big experiment. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know what's going to happen, because when everything opens up again, surely it's going to spread, you know?
well, I was just speaking to one of my contacts who's on congressional staff, and he was suggesting that, in fact, there really aren't any successful vaccines for coronaviruses generally in history, that it's actually something very tough to get a vaccine for. In addition, and then I started researching it, and there's a lot of indication that the antibodies that you get if you are infected don't last very long, and that you can get reinfected. And some doctors are already reporting that some patients are coming back, they've gotten it again, calling into question, I think, the efficacy or how effective any such vaccine might be. I guess we'll see, but it'd be a shame if they shut down the entire global economy to wait for a vaccine and then the vaccine didn't even work.
Well, I just don't think it was ever realistic to shut down everything for the 12 months to 2 years that it was going to take to get a vaccine.
I don't think they thought that far ahead until they figured out what the size and the scope of it was, and then what mitigations would work. You could probably justify doing it for a month or two like we did here, and now we've taken what we've learned in the process, just kind of go forward and gradually reopen things and try to do it safely. It sucks though. I mean, I don't know how the labor markets responded over there, but at one point we'd lost about 25 million jobs, and unemployment was rapidly approaching Great Depression levels. And now it's really on the rebound. It jumped right back. So they've made about 8 million new jobs just in the past 2 months as things are gradually reopening.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a massive experiment. Like,
Experimental
yeah.
suicide.
I just don't know. I don't see how. I can understand how everyone was just like, yep, just shut down, and we might be able to get rid of it, but it just it's not going to work that way. You know what I mean? It's like, I understand the fear. It's like there's this new virus that is quite deadly, especially for the elderly, and is really easily spread. So let's just shut everything down. But yeah, I don't know. When do you open back up? How do you open back up? And
Well, that's it.
how many lives have you destroyed in the time?
Those are, I think, important questions. Spirit Scar has an interesting point in the chat there. Says he wouldn't trust any vaccine they offer. The death toll from corona does not warrant shutting down the world. The exaggerated response has destroyed more lives than corona. Well, certainly more people have lost their livelihoods than have died from the virus here in the States. That's true.
Yeah.
I think it's just something where you mitigate and you can still have things be open, but in different ways. So if that means I'm here in Virginia, they've been limiting the restaurant capacity, but you can actually go back inside a restaurant now. I haven't done it myself yet. We still get takeout.
I know, it's too scary with kids. Lord J Bam fan says it doesn't spread as easily as you think or have been told. Well, there's this thing that we're experiencing in one of our states in Victoria at the moment. It's basically the only state that has active cases. And it started with a couple of people that were working in a market. And then So when you come, it's a little bit long-winded, but when you come into Australia, or so if you're one of the 400 people a week or whatever that come in, you have to isolate yourself in a hotel tower. So we've got these hotel towers for people to go and sit in for 2 weeks, and because that's the duration of the virus. So everyone gets put in basically a sanitarium. But what happened was, probably 3 weeks ago, some of the security guards that were posted to make sure no one leaves their rooms were banging some of the people that were quarantining. So they were sleeping with the people, and then they were going back to their homes and like spreading it to their family. And so now, from 2 cases, we've got I think it was like 270 cases a day at the moment in Victoria, every day, just from these 2 people.
Sounds like they tracked them all down, though.
No, well, they tracked down the first like 40 or 50 because they can test the DNA of the bug, so they can find out exactly where it's come from, whether it's all related. And so the first 50 were all related, but they just haven't been able to catch up to it. They had to isolate like 3 giant like housing. I don't know if you have them in Australia. We have like low-cost housing commission units.
Sure.
So big,
high-rise
big towers
apartments.
big high-rise apartments. So they had to shut down, I think, 9 of those high-rise apartments because it was just spreading all through them.
Well, that's an interesting part of this. I think one of the reasons New York, with their old buildings and all of the waterworks kind of interconnected in their buildings, that the virus probably gets into pipes and the air ducts, and so everyone's living on top of one another, and in Queens and Brooklyn, etc., Manhattan, and so I think that explains the large reason why it was very difficult to contain, even as people were staying in their apartments and afraid to kind of go anywhere. Although in New York, they didn't shut down the subways. They didn't and this is the hardest hit city in the country. And, so public transportation still going. People in many quarters were just walking around like nothing was going on. They weren't wearing masks. They were still going to work. And, it's one of the busiest cities in the world, and it remains so for a good chunk of that until I think they started taking it slightly more seriously, but not before. Many, many people had perished.
Yeah. And I don't know how unavoidable it is, to be honest.
Well,
we're gonna find out, aren't we? We're gonna find out in like, if in 3 months, like, there's not this huge amount of deaths in the US, then it's like everyone has overreacted. But if in 3 months, like, the US is piling up corpses on the sidewalk, then we're like, shit.
Well, I can show you what they're looking at right now, actually, if you go back to my screen. So what you're looking at there, this is from IHME. The worst is past us. In late March, cases peaked at about 250,000 a day. This is estimated, not confirmed cases, but they're just extrapolating. And today you're down to about 80,000 cases per day. And then they say it's going to continue to stabilize as you go on to August, and it even more stabilized if people wear masks. And then in September and October, when you get back into the cold and flu season, then it's going to tip up again. And then on death, though, it's slightly elevated when you get to the cold and flu season, but much lower if you wear a mask. But again, the death is way past us in April. And so I think we're well past the worst of this in this country, thank goodness. And I think that's why they're opening up again, gradually and carefully and hopefully safely. I think that we're worried. We're worried about like what the long-term impacts of shutting down your whole economy are going to be, because unfortunately, they're getting the jobs back pretty quickly right now, but sometimes it could take after the financial crisis in 2008, 2009, it took 5 years to get back the 8 million jobs that were lost. And in this case, we lost 25 million jobs. So would it take that long to get all the jobs back, to get the economy back to where it was? We had a pretty good economy going when that happened. things were looking up, people were hopeful, and then this whole thing just kind of changes everyone's year and totally alters what we consider our, in many cases, our careers, and a lot of lives being flipped upside down right now.
The chat is asking for a song.
Sure. Let's see. What do we want to hear, Oz?
What about a popular tune?
All right. I think I got something here. There we go. Remember when you were young, you shine like the sun. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Now there's a look in your eyes, like black holes in the sky. Shine shine for the moon. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Threaten my shadows at night and exposed to the light. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Oh, you wore out your welcome with random precision. Rode on the steel breeze. Come on, you raven, you seer of visions. Come on, you stranger, you piper, you prisoner, and shine. Little shine on your crazy diamond there from Pink Floyd.
Cool, man. Groovy, groovy. Did everyone enjoy that? I think so.
I did well.
Yep. Samba especially enjoyed it.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I enjoy playing. This gives me an excuse to play. I've been getting a lot of practice these past many weeks.
Yeah,
Just by
yeah.
sitting down.
Sometimes enforced working at home is a good thing.
True. Get to see the kids more often, that's for sure.
Gives your wife more chance to yell at you.
Oh, well, I'm not sure husbands really look forward to that. So it's like, oh, sweetheart, they reopened the office. I'll see you at 6 o'clock later.
Yeah.
Gives everyone a break. So we're definitely looking forward to going back to normal. And things mostly are, for at least where we are right now. In Virginia, cases were very low, and people wear masks when they go to the store and everything. So I think that they're behaving rather responsibly here, and hopefully we don't see any big outbreaks.
Lazarus says, play it a few more times until you get it down. Practice makes perfect. Good job.
I've been playing it for like 20 years, so.
You can't practice anymore.
I've practiced quite a bit. So, my old hands ain't what they used to be. So I probably still need to warm them up a little bit more. You kind of go into a little bit of a coma, and then just a few months ago I started playing again. over on Anthony's channel at Dark Gift. He does his open mics every Monday, or yeah, not the past couple weeks, but the weeks before that. So that gave me an excuse to kind of start shaking off the rust. I think I'm getting a little better.
Yeah. People are saying I'm starting to like it now, sort of thing. And they're starting to get into it.
That's an interesting break. It's a good way to, allow you to kind of collect your thoughts or get prepared the next segment, whatever that's going to be. So you can, or you could just keep improving, and just whatever happens, happens.
That's true. Whatever happens does happen. Collie, we haven't seen Collie for a while. He's swamped with work, he says. He can't get away from work, so he hasn't been able to come in the on the streams. The Berserk Gut says, Robert, do you ever play when you drink?
Yeah. I'm in the Monday PM show. Where we'll have a couple drinks. Won't drink in the daytime though.
KSS says, open mics every Monday. I'll make sure to avoid that.
No, they're pretty good. Anthony is a really talented guitarist. He's got some really good vocalists over there at Dark Gift Comics that come on. Really talented people come on there. I mean, it's it's not much different from going to a bar, right? Where they do open mic and like anything can happen. Some people do some karaoke stuff too as well. And, it's fun. I mean, he just sets the stage. So if you just like to sing and play songs, then, that's the place to be. Usually you find that a lot of the people who go to those things are like the friends of the performers. And so that's who your audience tends to be, I think, in the chat, except for the occasional troll.
Right. Honey Thunder says, you're better than Oz at least. But Honey Thunder, you've used the wrong then. It should be THAN.
That's right. Good grammar, Oz. I have to do that as a copy writer and editor, is make sure that people are using the proper punctuation and proper English. Don't run-on sentences. That happens a lot with copywriting. They'll like give you a whole paragraph. It'll be like one sentence, but really it should have been 3 sentences.
Now Lazarus is baiting me. I'm not going to take the bait, Lazarus.
Where would New Oz go to?
What do you mean, where would New Oz go to?
Well, Lazarus was saying New Oz would go there. Where's there?
No, he's baiting me by putting in the incorrect new.
Tolfer wants to know if I could proofread a comic book prior to publication. I suppose I could do that. I'm pretty quick
I know
at
that
editing.
Zach sends out his books to 5 or 6 people just to proofread it before he puts the document in.
I think my daughter is picking up a call there. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Denktleren Oz. What does that mean?
That's not English.
Hope I didn't say something bad. It's only 22 pegs. Peggers. Tolfa, why don't you come on stream and show us? We'll all read it for you. We'll all go through it together. We'll see if we can pick up any errors. What do you think about that idea, Robert?
Sure, but share the screen. We get to read a comic book on air. That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, is it the complete comic book, or is it just going to be the script?
I'm going to assume it's the actual book.
Now, is it his book?
You wouldn't want to proofread a script and then have to then proofread the comic.
Well, I think it would be wise to proofread a script before you start and having the letterer go to town on it. So
why? You can always change your grammar after you get the pages back.
True. You could do it that way, but then you'll have to re-letter the bubbles, Like if you already know what the script is, it's best to have it fully crafted and then have it go to, frankly, the artist and then the letterer. I suppose improvisationally between the artist and the writer, then they'll go back and forth and be like, what about this? What about this? And then things will change in that process. I guess it all depends on the team and how they're comfortable working. It's just that I hate it when I get copy that's clearly needed to, send this letter out. And it's like, well, has anyone proofed the letter yet? So then I end up having to proof the letter and then before it goes out. And almost always there's some things that need to be modified and corrected, usually on a grammatical basis, but you also get an occasional factual faux pas.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of sucks.
No, I like it.
Having to do that.
It helps. It's good with keeping attention to detail. But yeah, that's a good question. Could I help with editing some of these books? I suppose I could.
Tolfa says, if I can get the screen to share, I will come on.
Now, is it his book a we be proofing or somebody else's book?
It's his book, but
Okay.
he's got it. He's trying to do it on an iPad, so you should be able to do it, but I don't know exactly how.
He'd have to share the app, and then that's the question of can StreamYard work with the app?
Yeah, I don't know if StreamYards can work.
Because when you're
I
on
know
your
it works
smartphone-
on iPad, but I don't know whether it'll be able to screen share from the iPad. I mean, it might
wants
be
to
able
use
to.
If he's using Chrome and then the thing were on Chrome, like the comic were on a Chrome tab, it would probably work pretty good. But once you get out of Chrome, the sharing of the screen is, I think, kind of degraded a little bit. They really prefer that. So then trying to share a whole different app would be, I think, could be problematic.
Well, if they're in JPEG format, he can drag them onto the browser and have each page in a tab.
We got tech support for you, Tolfa.
We're tech supporting you.
We're here to help.
You can always, if you want, just pop in. Like, we're not going to do it now, but if you want to just pop in now and see whether you can share, just as a test. Jabba the coach says, when are all the lunatics coming on us? We had
it's been
two.
A pretty chill stream.
We had Robert on and we had Lazarus on. That's two lunatics.
We're real maniacs.
They're going to town yelling at each other.
Hey, you got my wife on.
Exactly. Can't get much more interesting than that. Gorgeous woman with a beautiful accent.
You're making her blush.
Somebody's appreciating. It's nice to hear compliments once in a while. Somebody's appreciating.
Tolfa, you need to.
Somebody's appreciating.
Tolfa, you need. If you're hearing this, you need to put either your headphones in, or you need to turn off the YouTube and just have the StreamYards open.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Cool. Are you able to zoom in at all on that, Tolfa? Cool. Yeah, man, it'll work. When do you want to come on? Hang on. Let me see if I can get you to.
I think he
It's
needs
still a
to
bit
turn
of
up
a-
his volume.
I think there's a bit of an echo there still.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah, man, it looks cool. When do you want to come on?
I don't know. I don't do much in the morning, so yeah, any morning.
So tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel?
Yeah, maybe early before it gets crazy.
What do you mean?
Earlier in the show.
Yeah, no, we'll do that tomorrow first up.
Yeah.
What do you mean before it gets crazy?
Oh, just before the show really starts hopping.
There's no guarantee the show's going to start hopping.
Oh no,
Yeah, it's cool, man. We
of course
can
not.
we can go through it and we'll read it. We'll read it tomorrow and we'll proof it for you.
Oh, I won't be able to do that tomorrow, though, Oz. I'll
I
be at
know
work.
that. I'll do it. No, I'll do it.
Awesome, Oz. This is a pretty cool. What can you? Do you want to tell the audience what the concept behind Winterland is? What we're looking at, and if there's a mailing list or a campaign they can back.
Well, this is my first comic book. Well, I mean, it's not exactly my first, but it's the first one I've done to completion. And I don't have like a campaign. I don't have a plan. All I've got is 22 pages. And I think the whole idea was just that I would get it done, And so, I mean, it'd be cool to talk to somebody just because I don't really know what to do. Or if it's worth messing with, or.
Well, it's from what I've just briefly seen, it looks really cool, man. So I'd love to go through it with you and see what we can do with it.
Yeah,
what's
cool.
what's the premise? Like, tease our imaginations a little.
Well, it's like, I mean, yeah, I don't have my elevator pitch yet, but it's sort of like, it's just like a horror comic. It's a werewolf comic. It's, I mean, maybe the thing that's different is it takes place in like a small college town, like in the kind of the western part of the country.
Okay.
And
Do you want to show, like, do you have a splash page or like what you think is the coolest page just to show us now?
Well, this is a page I was really happy with.
Oh wow. That's
really cool.
I like that composition and the way it leads your eye around. So I want to go to the bubble or the box at the top, read that out, and then just kind of follow the barrel of the gun down, see where he's looking.
Yeah, that's some pretty wild art, man.
Yeah, I like your perspective drawing, and the figures are really, I'd say, very sharp. Now, is this the art in its final format? Is there going to be colors coming on top of this, or you like the black and white format? I think it works pretty good for you.
Well, I actually kind of like the black and white. I sort of, I was looking at a lot of, I don't know, like in the 80s, there were all these like black and white Marvel magazines and creepy and stuff. And so I was kind of looking at a lot of that.
Yeah, and I like the grays in between. That's very effective. And congratulations. This looks like you've put a lot of work into this, and it's very attractive artwork. And I like that there's I can't read the words from here, but I always prefer a little bit more verbosity in my comic books, something that's a little more ponderous sometimes.
Yeah, everyone's impressed, man. Everyone's saying it's really cool.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you should.
This is really the first time I've showed it to anybody, so thanks.
Well, thank you.
You got very positive response. Yeah, no. Yeah, let's book it in for tomorrow. We'll do it first thing on the show.
Yeah, cool. Can I leave now?
Yeah, no worries, man.
You did great.
Sorry, this is one of my first live streams. It is kind of I don't know, little.
You're good, man.
Yeah. Okay. Later.
We'll have a good chat tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Wow. You never know what you're going to get on this show. You know?
No, new aspiring creator, afraid to show his book, but you managed to get him to do it, Oz. That's really quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, well, I've been communicating with him for a while. So I'm glad that he finally came on and show it off, you know, because everyone says it looks cool, and I think it looks cool. It looks like an awesome style for an indie book. So yeah, I want to go through it with him and find out a bit about his wife, see what she's up to, and look at his book? Will you be listening it while you're at work, Robert?
The opportunity may present itself.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what's going to, because the news cycle, you have to be able to respond to it very quickly. So sometimes there's something breaking and you need to get a rapid response out. And so then other times you just have a pretty lackadaisical morning and then stuff starts breaking at like 2 o'clock. So we just got to be on our toes, be prepared. And then when things are slow, then you usually work on more thought pieces or deeper analysis and try to build up something that you can pretty much get out on a rapid basis in case nothing was so newsy that you needed to really respond to it. But we're just things are just getting warmed up here in the U.S. for the political cycle. So I expect it should start coming pretty vigorously very soon, probably by the time the conventions happen.
And if anyone wants to clip him saying coming vigorously very soon, feel free.
Thanks, Oz.
You're welcome. I'm here to please. All right. We're going to end the show, everyone. And I really hope that you enjoyed the music tonight, because I know I did. It looks like we're going to have a cool comic to look at tomorrow. And we'll see if Geek Chorus is over the corona. We'll see if...
Oh, no, he got sick?
Yeah, he's quite sick. So
oh my goodness!
We're all praying for Geek Chorus. I really hope it doesn't affect his voice, because he sounds pretty sick.
That sucks.
Yeah. Honey Thunder says that I make his work go faster, but just a little, or at least it's not slowing down time for you. Yeah. Berserk Gut says you've got to play us a song as an outro. You don't have to, but if you want to.
Yeah, I got one more.
Yeah, you got one more?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I will see you guys tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And think overnight of a new name for my channel as well. Keep bringing up with the suggestions, or you can tweet them at me as well. All right. Play on, Robert.
All right. You have a good night, Oz. Beyond the horizon of a place we lived when we were young, in a world of magnets and miracles, our thoughts stray constantly without boundary. The ringing of the division bell had begun. Along the wrong road and on down the causeway, do they still meet them by the cut? There was a raggedy band that followed in our footsteps, running before time took our dreams away, leaving a myriad small creatures trying to tie us to the ground, to a life consumed by slow decay. The grass was greener, the light was brighter, with friends surrounding, the nights of wonder. Looking beyond the embers of bridges glowing behind us, to a glimpse of how green it was on the other side. Steps taken forward but sleepwalking back again, dragged by the force of some inner tide. At a higher altitude, with a flag unfurled, we reached the dizzy heights of that dreamed-of world. Looking beyond the embers, bridges glowing behind us. I think we started saying that one. Encumbered forever by desire and ambition, there's a hunger still unsatisfied. Our weary eyes still strayed to the horizon. Down this road we've been so many times. The grass was greener, the light was brighter, the taste was sweeter, the nights of wonder, with friends surrounded. Dawn is glowing, the water flowing, the endless river, forever and ever.